Yo, what up? It's A.K.A. the Wizard. Welcome to the Put Up. We put on a different artist each week and share their entire story from the beginning to where they're at now and how you can follow them. And today we're gonna have a guy on that's close to us, almost local. You know what I mean? Like an hour away or so. Let's welcome to the Put Up today, Jonathan Panetta, bro. What's good? It's gonna be a great show, everybody. So, yo, we're just gonna jump into the interview because that's how we do it. We just wing it right away, you know.
Straightforward. I like it. Let's
All right,
get
go right back to the top again. Take us back to the beginning. How you became an artist, like all the way back to childhood. Like, how did this all begin?
uh just influence from family, being raised from listening to like classic rock like Beatles, Stones from like my
Yes,
dad. Um
that's like my
80
parents. Yeah.
80s stuff from my mom. Uh Feels like the more modern, like the 2000s ish from my older siblings, which I'd say I kind of aim for a 2000s kind of sound in my own work. That's probably like genre wise my biggest influence. I feel like we all, if we're, younger too, specifically, or even just from your parents, we all start our music identity from someone else because it's like that's kind of how you get exposed to
Right. Somebody
music.
played something originally, right?
Yeah. In a commercial, your parents turning on the radio for you, something like that. Um, then eventually you kind of find like your own bands, and people will say they suck. Why do you like them? But then you like them anyways. But yeah, I think it all just comes from influence and just liking what you like. People say, "Oh, that band sucks." Screw them. Listen to them.
I love it. Yeah, and just be open to any other kind of music because there's so many different styles today than there was back in the 80s and 90s, you know? Like now everything's broken into like 50,000 subgenres of each one. It's
Oh
wild what's
yeah.
happening, right? Yo, so like tell everybody your style though. Like you play all those instruments when you make music? Is that
Yeah.
all you on there?
For the most part, yeah. The first ever instrument I ever picked up was drums, and guitar and bass kind of came together a few
Okay.
years after that. I was always singing, even if you wouldn't like count it like professionally. Even it's just like listening to a CD and singing in my parents' van, like whatever. Like I was singing
Yeah,
since
heck
like
yeah.
5 years old, 6 years old, um, and I wouldn't, quite say I've like mastered all these instruments, but I kind of got to a point where I was in like various bands in my teenage years, and you pick up a thing or two, and those bands just never worked out, and I was cooking up a solo project in between, you know, observing what the drummer does, taking guitar lessons in between, and whatever. And it just got to a point where it's like, well, I know some drums, I know guitar, I'm learning a bit of bass now. I've always been singing. Why not try and throw them all together and cook some stuff up? And I've been doing that solid since about, I think my first ever release as a solo artist was, I think, in like the middle of the pandemic, which was kind of crazy. But
Yo, that's crazy actually. My wife too. We randomly made a song during like the lockdown. And that's when her first song came out. It's crazy how that works, eh?
yeah,
So like fuck 6 years now almost, eh?
pretty much, yeah.
Of like releasing music. And we're gonna hear a couple of them today. Should be sick. But not yet. We're gonna keep going with the interview before that. Just so everybody knows though, we're gonna hear two tracks from Jonathan today. So stick around for that part. Should be great. But okay, so tell everybody what your style or sound sounds like. What genre it is technically. Like I love the guitar stuff in it. That's like my jam, bro.
Oh
Double
yeah.
guitars and all.
It
Yeah.
if there's one thing, and like sometimes I apologize to my producers. They know how I am. I can be a bit of a stickler when it comes to finding the perfect guitar tone because I'm so like dead set on that. Um, but like yeah, punk rock and grunge rock is mainly what I go by, and it's crazy because it's like people really only consider grunge like I guess like the '90s and that's it. So when I'm like, oh, I'm 2000s influenced, people are like, grunge was dead in the 2000s. It's like, post grunge or new metal, or so many genres, right? We said that earlier, but for lack of so many genres out there to just say, oh, I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I just say I'm punk and grunge, and it's 90s influence, 2000s influence. Um, your Nirvana, your Pantera, your 90s stuff. 2000s, if I'm leaning, I guess post grunge, whatever, hard rock and punk. Your Green Days, your Blink 182s, your 3 Days Grace,
Right,
Linkin
that all
Park.
fits in there with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like more that. Yeah, I can definitely. I won't ruin it for them. They're gonna have to hear it. It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, that's sweet, bro. So like, where do you get ideas for your music? That like, what inspires the songs that you create?
I think a lot of that is just from like my preteens and teens. They're like, here's a sad preteen song. It's so funny. I saw a band called Papa Roach. Maybe you guys have heard of them.
Yeah, actually, they were in our city not long ago.
Yeah,
think.
I was at that concert.
Okay, yeah,
and it was funny.
Kitchener Memorial Auditorium there.
Jacoby, the singer, said before he played their song "Scars," he's like, "You were probably a sad preteen when the song came out." I'm like, "Yeah, I probably was."
Pretty accurate. I like it.
But it's true though. Like I find like there was a lot of times in that area of my life where like I had like no one for a support system, and music was just consistently there for me, and that's a really powerful thing. So I think that from the start was the main influence. Like if music could be that big of a friend, that big of a support, that big of a motivator for me, like there has to be other people that have felt the same way, or at least need to have that comfort and support. If I can be an artist and provide that support, like bands like Disturbed, 3 Days Grace, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, like those bands did for me. If someone can say Jonathan Panetta's music got me through those hard times, I'm set.
Yeah, there's a Grammy right there, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. Yeah, I think as an artist, like that's your only hope, right? Is that like you can make somebody else feel in some way with your art, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bro. And I always said that too. I was like, screw the Grammy, man. I don't care about that shit. I want to affect people. I want to actually, and I've been able to through like my audio engineering career and stuff. You know what I mean? So like the evidence of that is way more important to actually affect change with your music. That's the dopest goal ever, right there, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So yo, walk us through your process from like you come up with an idea to make a song all the way to it's released on Spotify and everywhere.
Oh man, that's been a journey.
Yeah, it is for an independent artist, right?
And I know there's a song that I just recently released, or rather re-released, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But part of that was like starting in my basement on like the cheapest little interface you could probably find. It was probably like the size of like your computer mouse or whatever. Just trying like a free DAW, which don't knock free DAWs. Like honestly, it's hard enough like when you don't have the money to invest in music when you're first starting. Right. So like literally, if you need to start on budget equipment, like whatever, you do you, as long as you can get started and get something that you can play back and listen to, even if you don't actually release it, like do that. So that's what I did for a few years in the starting process. Then it got to a point where I bought like a little better equipment, but I still never really cracked down on the mixing and mastering. So I would have like friends come over, or we would hop on like a call like we're doing right now. Nice. And they would kind of help me mix and master. But I also find when years go by and you kind of evaluate yourself, evaluate your own progress, you always want to get like one step higher and then another step higher. So it kind of got to a point where it's like, as much as I love you guys helping me out, like it's still not quite getting to the sound and like mastering where I would like it to be. I could spend hours and hours of time studying music mastering, which if you want to do that, kudos to you. I just find that very overwhelming.
I did it. I've done a lot of studying in that area.
For me, I'm just like, I live in Toronto. I need to just research our city. There has to be like some at least good producers around here that can help me
There's
get
some
to where I
amazing
want to be.
places. Yeah.
And I've been around the block, worked with some really awesome people, and I think that's honestly just like the step I needed to take. Is honestly the first song, which we're also going to listen to at some point, was actually the first song that I did in a studio, like away from home. And just once I got the final master of that, I was like, okay, going to a studio was definitely the right step, because this is what I'm talking about.
Right. And getting that experience of like the totally different thing. Because that's where I was trained, actually, like a place like that, right? And it's totally different than sitting in a room by yourself like this, you know? Like as cool as this one is and everything.
It is.
You know?
And the thing is, you can't even describe it, because before that I was like, what if I soundproofed my room? What if I just bought on Amazon a bunch of foams and like made it everything? And people just explained to me like, that's cool, you can do that, but if you still don't know exactly what you're doing in the mixing and mastering process, you can soundproof the walls all you want. It's not going to make significant.
You gotta know what you're listening for.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it. And for those like you that, can sit down and take the time and know all of that stuff, kudos to you.
Oh,
but
yeah,
just
it
like
took years.
in my journey,
literally.
that just wasn't for me. And if someone can just help me like bring what's up here into here, then
yeah, that's
that's good for me.
it's priceless almost, right? When you can have like a place like that to do it all. And it's almost, you know what? We've lost that with the ability to buy your own equipment and do your own little room thing, right? Where it was like back in the day, what, the 80s even, you had to rent a big place to even get a recording made. And it was like probably $30K for a fucking song, you know what I mean? Like, and things have just, so like the ability has almost like crippled us in a way, because music was made in a different way back then too, when it was in that setting, right? Compared to you just being alone in a room today. Like, I feel like you can still have both worlds, you know? You should be able to anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I got to see some crazy places just recently, like mastering rooms and stuff, and it's just like they're still out there. They're still available to like get vibes when you need them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good process. I think every independent artist should go and experience it at least once, right? Just to try out that big studio feel and get the treatment. You know?
I agree. Because the first time you're in there, it's like, wow, this is where the magic happens.
Well, and there's something magical about it, right? In every single one of them, yeah. No, I love it. Okay, so, we're going to talk about that song now, actually. What is it called?
Which
Forgiveness.
One? There's two, so flip a coin.
I think Forgiveness is up first, bro.
Okay, so...
This is the one that came out, I guess it's today, but this will air in 2 days, so like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Just dropped Friday, March the 13th.
There you go, yeah.
So the original version is still out there. It was off of an album called Stop and Think Now.
Is that why the title of it says like Redux?
Redux? Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because I didn't want like music distribute stores to, have the same name twice, and then people look for it and maybe they get the original version, which, not that I'm ashamed of it. There's a reason I still keep my old work up on stores and whatever, but like the original Forgiveness off of that whole album was producing with some of my friends and producing myself. So the whole like Forgiveness Redux thing is kind of just a thing for me as well, to be like, this is where I was then. Now I could actually play back and hear my own progress in real time and see like where my journey has led me.
Wait, so this is the same song that you first went to the big studio with and redid?
No, I think you're getting the two of them.
One? Okay.
I think you're getting the two of them mixed up. So the first song that I ever did in studio after my self-producing era was Get Loud. Okay. Forgiveness was before that, but it was one of those songs that I just kind of looked at my older releases. I'm like, you know what? I like that song a lot, that I think it deserves like another another shot, you know?
Interesting. So you leave the old one up and just like release a new one. Because I might do it with the song actually. Another one that I did. I
And
think it's cool that you just
there's
do
no
that.
rule of thumb, man. Honestly, it's
Right.
like you as independent musicians when you don't have people telling you like
Like leave it up.
remove that, like
Whatever.
do whatever you want. Freedom.
I like that message right there. That's perfect. Well, perfect. Yo, let's go in here. Forgiveness. Let's roll it.
Hell yeah. Hope you guys like it.
In these times of reflection, I feel my mind is corrupted. It's like I'm losing who I used to be, being controlled by my agony. Don't want to walk down this road, or dig a grave for us both. I just want to be okay, and make my pain go away. Sometimes the past comes back and I remember that I've been abused beyond repair. I've dealt with so much bullshit, it's hard to forget it. The weight I carry is so unfair. I want to escape this place and just run away. I will make it on my own, I swear. But it still kills me inside that those who hurt me are gone while I'm still stuck in my own. I need to learn forgiveness, but all I see is red. There's tightness in my chest and anger in my breath, but I don't want to live like this, consumed by hatred. I know that I'll never forget until I learn forgiveness. I need to learn forgiveness, but all I see is red. There's tightness in my chest and anger in my breath, but I don't want to live like this, consumed by hatred. I know that I'll never forget until I learn forgiveness. Yeah, until I learn
Welcome back to the Put Up, everybody. I'm A.K.A. the Wizard, and we have Jonathan Panetta with us today. And the song you just heard is called Forgiveness. Yo, say another word about that song. It's got that punk feel to it. It's an interesting one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny you say punk because it's like that song I definitely tried to get more of the hard rock and grunge kind of feel.
Okay.
But it's weird because the sound that I kind of go for is like the punk and grunge. They kind of like mesh together, so sometimes it grays the area of what's kind of one
Dude,
genre
I think it's cool.
and the other.
Yeah. It's a beautiful song either way. And it's a redistributed one again, right?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. So, like, I'm going to do this other version, probably an acoustic one, of, like, a song that I released on Valentine's Day. And it was just like, I don't know. It was for my wife, and she's like, no, I want the acoustic one. So I'm going to just put it out and leave the other one out there, too. You know what I mean? Same kind of
Yeah.
deal. And see what happens. I don't know. But, yo, back to the interview, bro. We'll get a little bit serious now. Challenges. What's been the hardest thing that you've had to experience since you started making music?
Honestly, just getting opportunities to just like be in front of fresh faces and audiences that like want to consume the sound and the music that I make. Because it's like, as independent musicians, like without like a team, without a label, without a manager, like whatever you want to insert, throw in other team member there, like
Yeah, like you literally got to create the team if you want one. You know
or
what I mean?
or be a one man team,
Or be the team.
essentially.
Yeah.
And it's like I can sit down and tell you, and maybe for those of you that are watching this, I don't know, like your ages and whatnot, maybe I'm accurate. If I'm not, you can correct me. But like, I think like at least my ideal demographic are like those that were in their teens or like in high school, just coming out of high school, like in the 90s and 2000s. So my demographic is probably people like in their late 20s to their 40s, like somewhere around there. To say, oh, Jonathan Panetta kind of reminds me of this band. I used to listen to them or see them, blah, 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 back when I was, so like whatever. So I kind of have that idea, but then it's just like, okay, Chris, let's sit down. So here's the idea. How do we get a bunch of 20 to 40-year-old men and women in one place, or to all go to my platform? So, like, trust me, like, that's, you know, the goal, and, you know, we
Bro, I don't know.
promote
Almost like
everything.
Facebook might help, you know? You
Running
find out the
ad
network they're on.
campaigns.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like you do all that stuff, and, you know, sometimes it's really successful, sometimes it's not.
And like trial and error so many times as an
Essentially,
independent artist, right, doing
man.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that, bro. And it's been like this. I mean, I've even taken courses on marketing. And my wife's in business school for marketing right now. And it's just like this process of figuring out what the hell to do as an artist to get seen by anybody, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
The social media era or whatever, you know? Okay, so on the flip side of that, like, what's been your biggest success? If that was the challenge, what's been like the best thing that's ever happened so far?
Well, there's a few things that come to mind, and I'd say at least recently in like the past few years. I got to be played on a radio station in Ottawa.
Oh, heck yeah.
And one of the cool things, I actually got to meet the person, one of the people that hosts that radio station. They ended up moving to Toronto.
Nice.
And they interviewed me and another artist named Danny Horowitz for a song we collabed together called Make You See Your Time. And then Danny says, I'd like to do an acoustic version of Make You See Your Time, which came out at the beginning of this year, so you guys can, we're not going to be playing that on today's episode, but feel free to check that one out. But the co-radio host that was from Ottawa moved to Toronto. I go in the studio with Danny Horowitz, and it turns out she's our audio engineer for
Yo,
the day.
dope.
And I'm like,
It's amazing.
what? I'm like, isn't it crazy that you interviewed us about
Like,
the
what?
original version a few years ago, and now here you are helping us with the
Make
acoustic
the next
version.
one.
That's
cool.
crazy.
That's super cool. I like it.
Other things that come to mind, I got to play the Rivoli in downtown Toronto in October of last
Oh,
year.
nice. Yo, we
So-
actually used. Oh, I don't personally like set it up or something, but we have like a reunion there during Music Week every year.
Oh, nice.
for like the college program that I took to learn audio engineering. It's crazy.
And Ribley, honestly, the sound in that venue was so good.
Yo, and I gotta shout out my boy Zach Perry locally. Actually, he just played the Rivoli there, like down like I think 2 weeks ago.
Oh, hell yeah. Good for
Yeah,
him.
like he packed out a
Congrats,
show
Zach.
there. Heck yeah, man! It's a great little venue too, right?
Oh, I love it.
Yo, that's awesome. So you got to pack that place out too, eh? That's
Oh, yeah.
wicked.
And one last thing, it's a little more personal, but it comes to mind. I got to know this person that, like, they're a fan of my music, but they're also kind of a friend at this point as well. Um, I think they're from Oregon, I believe, somewhere in the States. But without, like, getting into personal details, about their life, they just told me that, like, my music helped them get like the bravery and encouragement to confront someone that has abused them in the
Damn.
past. And that, like, my go-to is just like, oh my god, like, I had no idea you experienced that. Like, I'm here for you if you ever need to talk about it. But then, like, the fact, like, not only that, like, you're confronting this person because of
You did that.
a 20-something year old in Toronto made a song that made
Yeah,
you feel
for
something.
real.
Like, okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a deeper connection with music right there, right?
And that's, like we said near the start of this episode, like, that's all I really want. And that just, kind of hit deep there,
Yeah, that's crazy. No, that's the whole point of making the music, right? To affect the people like that. And to get to hear that back just as like a testimonial, that's the best part. That's like soul food or something,
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so like you're in the studio making your music. Do you have any kind of like creative say? Or you let the producers like choose all the mics? Like how does that work?
In terms of, like, equipment, like, that they know what they're doing.
You just kind of like leave it to them, let them pick you the things, and then just magic.
Yeah, when it comes to guitar, like, I kind of know, like, tone wise and stuff that I want to do. Some songs I have gone live with the actual amp, but a lot of the times I'll go the amp simulator route.
Okay.
So either, like, I'll give them access to it, I'll bring my own amp simulator, or if there's some that are free out there, I tell them this is the one I want. Just download it before our session, and
Isn't it crazy how technology works today?
yeah.
Like you couldn't just do that when I was like 10, you know what I mean? When I first got my guitar and amp and everything, it's like, yo, you got what you got. That's it. There's no like computers inside fucking amps and stuff, Yeah, man. Just to like be able to like download your tone to the audio engineer. It's amazing. So what ones do you use then?
Well, my main live amps are PV half stack,
Okay.
and when I'm playing, like, my smaller venues, I have a Black Star, but I kind of wanted a small amp that could kind of just replicate the PV tone, so I'll typically use a 5150 pedal
Yeah.
on that.
That's sick.
But yeah, like, there's so many amps that can, like, replicate a PV or a Marshall. My go-tos have either been a Guitar Rig 6 or a STL tones.
Okay. I think I've heard of both of those. I actually have Guitar Rig 5, like the old one.
So does my
There's
producer.
some good
so,
stuff there.
so sometimes we're like, oh, we don't have 6. Let's take a look in 5. Sometimes we use Guitar Rig.
Yeah, it's
5 too,
got
so.
some like standard stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's dope. Okay, so then you play the drums too? In the studio?
I I
You have like
one-
session players? Like how does it work?
I have once. I did
Okay.
live drums myself once, and the funny thing is all these years I've played on an electric drum kit, and the one thing I remember the producer telling me was like, you need to hit the drums harder because with an electric drum kit, it's always so loud. It's like, oh wow, there's actually velocity control. Well,
Yeah, I
damn.
guess with real drums, right? There's a little difference compared to hitting pads. It's true.
So, other than that, I have done MIDI drums for most of my work, and just producers have done their magic to make it sound as real as possible.
Yeah.
There is one song that's going to be on an upcoming album that we're probably looking at this summer. It's going to be dropping. That I got to give a shout out to my boy Matt Levesque. He did
shout out.
did a drum session for me and just absolutely crushed it. Even the producer for that session was wowed. So
You just like sitting there watching in amazement as it happens, right? Like,
and like I made my own MIDI drums too for the demo of it, just to show him like this is kind of the idea of what I'm looking for. And he kind of referenced it, but you know, all drummers will do their own thing.
it's just gonna happen, yeah.
And it just blew my mind.
It's hard to find drums, honestly. Real live drummers now, man. I have no luck, honestly, trying to get like this organic sound back. Cause like I work with a lot of guys that do like that same kind of thing, like MIDI music, essentially, right? And then it's like, but the one guy wants live sounding stuff, so then it's like plugins just can't do it sometimes. You know what I mean? You gotta have that like real drummer effect going on.
It all depends on the engineer, honestly.
Yeah, like man, I've sat there for hours with these damn plug-in VSTs, and like, I just want a real drummer. I want to like set the mics up and do the thing, you know? Yeah, to have that is something special today. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, there's probably like 5 big drummers like that in Ontario or something. You know what I mean? They'll just like hit up like studio sessions and stuff. It's crazy. And there's a lot more good drummers out there. I know of them. It's just that they don't do the work. You know what I mean? Where they're just like off doing their own thing as drummers. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yo, kudos to you for getting the real drums, bro.
Thank you.
It like makes for this more organic like track experience and the whole sound of everything, right?
Let me ask you this though. Did you think in Forgiveness and Get Loud that those were real drums?
I think Get Loud, I can hear them being like a certain kind of like sound, like a drum sound that I use. No, I think they're like MIDI drums, right?
Yeah. But still
Now less
sounded
noticeable in like the first song, Forgiveness, yes. The second one I could definitely tell it was like that, but I like the sound of it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Like I use sounds like that regularly, so I'm like, yeah, I can get down with this. But yo, just before we hear that one actually, tell us, is there like some unique thing you do that you don't think other artists do when you go to record or make music or anything like that?
Well, one thing I will say, like, Get Loud, I was listening to a lot of Papa Roach and this metal band called Dope.
Sounds dope.
Sounds dope. They are dope. Maybe they do dope. I don't know.
They probably sound dope.
But I would listen to them, and then I would find like instrumentals of them on like YouTube, and really analyze like how the guitars and the drums sound, but also like knowing the lyrics to their songs. I would like sing like the same melody, but like maybe change some of the words and just try to get something flowing, and just kind of make something up from there. Sometimes songs will just naturally come to you and you're like, oh damn, I have an idea. I have to record this before I forget it.
Yeah.
But sometimes when the classic writer's block comes in, I say listen to your influences, listen to the song, listen to an acapella, listen to an instrumental version, like really like break down like the entirety of it, and I guarantee something will come your way.
Oh, nice. That's the best tip ever for artists right there. There you go. Beautiful. Well, yo, we're going to hear your second song. Tell everybody about it.
So we talked a little bit about it before, but Get Loud, after, I think it was just after the Stop and Think Now album, was the first song that I was done with self-producing at home, and I went to a studio to go and record it. And it blew me out of the water how it turned out. I think to date it is still one of my highest streamed songs on Spotify,
Nice.
which I am so happy for. I think it's almost pushing like 40K, I think, so that's
Nice.
pretty awesome. like I said, I was listening to Papa Roach instrumentals, dope instrumentals, and maybe for those of you that may know those bands, you may be able to hear some of the influence there.
It's like
but,
the baby that was made as a result of that.
From a Roach and Dope
There you
gave
go.
birth to gave birth
I
to Get
love it.
Loud.
There you go. Perfect
But-
intro to the song, yo. I love it.
There you go. I think it's one of those songs that could be on a gym playlist. It's definitely a protest kind of song. If you're, I don't know.
Yeah, it's got that anthem kind of feel to it.
Maybe
to
you're
me.
going on strike.
Yeah.
Maybe you're going to walk out of work. I don't know.
It's like, fuck this and listen to this. All right, Get Loud by Jonathan Panetta.
Let's raise our voices tonight. Don't we have a right to fight? Can't keep it caged inside. Nowhere to run but my mind. No, I'm not gonna shut my mouth. 'Cause it's time to raise a little hell. Let's go, let's raise a little hell. Tonight we're gonna get loud. If you knew the pain you've caused, you wouldn't turn a blind eye to us. You've built a wall made of lies, a living facade and falsify. You can run from the truth, but one day it'll catch up to you. We won't run, not today, 'cause we'll make you own up to your mistakes. Let's raise our voices tonight. 'Cause we have a right to fight. Can't keep it locked up inside. No release just doesn't feel right. No, I'm not gonna shut my mouth. 'Cause it's time to raise a little hell. Come on, let's raise a little hell. Tonight, let's get fucking loud.
Well, we're back on the put up with Jonathan Panetta. How's it going, bro?
It is going great. I hope you guys have enjoyed that song.
Yeah, heck yeah. And that was called Get Loud. And it's a great freaking track, bro. Like I said to you, man. I'm literally gonna have to go back and hear it like 10 more times. Just in like my private time, you know? Like it's one of those, it reminds me of like, I don't know, Shinedown from like I think Vegas or some shit where they're from. Like big bands like that like anthem type energy, you know? Yeah, great song, bro. I love it. But yo, we're gonna get into connecting with fans now. How do you make your art relatable to people? How do you connect with your audience? Whether I don't know, like you do live shows though, right?
Yeah. When the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, right.
you're a few cities over from me, but I'm sure you know, like in our province of Ontario, like we don't exactly have it easy here.
Yeah, it's an interesting place.
But connecting with fans, like I just try to, when I can, like give them the time of day, like even if it's just like talking with them, like whatever, like I'm a musician, but it's not like I make music, I'm a content creator, I'm up here and you're down here. Like, no, man, like I'm just another human being, just like
another
you.
guy trying to make it, yeah.
Music, and when a lot of that is like influenced from like wanting to create positive change and have music that comforts you, like it was for me. Like I know, like the music will speak for itself, but the music is also related to who the artist is. So like when I have songs that are like about going through a breakup, going through depression, other things to kind of comfort you, like I'm not going to be like, well, you have depression, well that sucks. Like, no. If my music is like that, that's exactly how I am. I feel I've always been.
Yeah, it's like a reflection of you kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, and just truly letting it, because like there's got to be like, I don't know, there's posing type people out there just making music for the kicks of it, you know what I mean? With like AI and shit, they just don't put anything into it really or whatever, right? And then it's like on the polar opposite end of that, where you're like giving a piece of your soul that you've like expressed out of you type thing, and you're hoping somebody grasps onto that, right? Yeah, it's like this beautiful thing that happens on the other side of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And what do you hope they take away from that when they like hear your art? What are you hoping they get from that?
Oh, so much, man. But if I had to like narrow it down, like comfort, empathy, compassion, hope for the future, and even for those that are like musicians that hear it, like just kind of encouragement for themselves. I know I have one person I've kind of connected with a little more deeply. I think they're from Germany, actually.
Nice. I got a guy over there too. It's a good place.
And when we first started connecting, they're just like, I think it's kind of crazy. Like I'm talking to Jonathan Panetta, and I'm just like, it's nothing, man. Like you're a musician, you're asking me questions. I just want to kind of help you out so you can start to be happy with your work and with your product. Like one musician to another, like it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Actually, I got a guy in Germany named 808 Diffraction to produce a dance version of a song for me. It was like my second last release. It's crazy, bro.
Wow, nice.
The Germans, they're too nice, man. Or he might even, I don't know, the one guy that knows him, he's like, maybe he's in like the Netherlands or something like that. Like somewhere over in Europe there, right? But yeah, he like refused to pay for it. I mean, or like let me pay him for it.
It's
so I
funny
just
you
like transferred him money, right?
It's funny you mentioned the Netherlands, Chris, because when my Spotify Wrapped for last year came out, I had no idea the second country that played my music the most on Spotify was apparently the Netherlands. So
there you go.
Had no idea I was getting that much love over there.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yo, it's crazy, right? So the internet has allowed all this to take place. Because, like, even, like, a friend of mine, like, locally close here, right? And I met him, like, 8 months ago or something like that. And he's like, bro, you're one of the only artists I've ever met that have, like, international plays and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Like, it's just so normal for us as musicians to be, like, talking on these social networks now. And there's people all over the world that we're talking to, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's opened up to be able to have this, right? So, like, I got a song played on Irish radio, like, last week. We can have your songs played on Irish radio now, too. There you go. Yeah, we'll have to show them, bro. You know?
The power of technology.
Yeah, and it struck me as odd that like so many, because like this guy's a music foodie kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like he's going out to like niche shows and stuff and like spending good money on like just stuff I've never even heard of before, right? And for him to say that, I'm like, I guess I don't know. A lot of artists aren't out there trying to like push themselves to the entire world, but it's out there ready for you to have kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I say, if you are an artist, just take advantage of it and let it happen. You know, why not get your song played in the UK, right? Yeah, man. Heck yeah. So, okay, before we go today, tell everybody what you're working on, what projects. You have the first song we heard today dropped 2 days ago, right? And then you have what coming up?
There is going to be an album probably coming out in early summer or late spring,
Nice.
sometime this year. It's going to, I can tell you right now, it's going to be kind of a fine mix between my grunge and harder rock stuff and throwing in a few more acoustic tracks in this time around.
Interesting.
There will be, still. I tried to kind of shy away from the punk this time around, but there is at least one punk track in there. I didn't want to leave punk out entirely, but
Yeah, like just keep a little piece, you know?
yeah, I wanted to have a little more focus this time around, just like on like the intimacy and like just the kind of rawness of an acoustic vibe. But you guys will definitely hear more of that in the months to come. There will be, I think, another acoustic song that'll probably be out before the album comes out. But
Nice.
you can find me on Instagram at Jonathan Panetta. On TikTok, Jonathan_Panetta. There's apparently other Jonathan Panettas out there. Oh god, it gets worse, man. I feel like if we link it somewhere,
Oh,
that would
man.
probably be best. Facebook.
Oh yeah,
is,
we're gonna put it below here actually for everybody.
Facebook is JN Panetta, and X is JN Panetta 2000. I gotta get the rights to my own name.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. We actually were like coming up with a network for like a live thing called Live Stage, right? And like we took forever to freaking find a name for it. Everything was taken, bro. You can't even get your own name today. The internet's already got it, bro. You know?
Pretty much.
Yo, I'm a fragrance. Straight up. If you go to chriscollins.com, I'm a fragrance.
But yeah,
I got a long
definitely,
ticket, yeah.
definitely check those out. Singles.
But yeah, we'll have all of
new
your
album,
links below here.
and also a new music video sometime this year.
Oh, nice. How does that work? Do you shoot your own music videos, or you have like a company produce it type thing, or?
Several people just in the city, man. Either people that they've done like photography for me, but they're like, hey, I also do shoots as well. Or
Nice.
Literally, like we've said so many times in this episode, the power of the internet. Just go on a
Yeah, you can
Toronto,
find it.
go on a Toronto group. Hey, looking to shoot a video. Any videographers out there?
Oh my god, you'll have
People-
50 in like 2 minutes. Yeah, straight up. Everybody that owns a camera is gonna be out that thing, man. No, that's cool, actually. Well, I look forward to seeing that too. You gotta send me like a link once that's out. That should
Oh
be
yeah, absolutely, man.
good. Well, yo, thanks for coming on the put up today, brother. It's
Thank
been
you
great
for
to
having
chat
me.
with you and like hear your story, where you come from, because that's like the whole point of this show, right? I was going to like music reviews and like you got to hear people's music, just like the radio or whatever, but you don't know the artists on the radio. You know what I mean? And for the independent music space, you gotta like connect with the people and understand who they are. So like we never really got that with like music reviews. So I wanted to make this show to like pull all of this stuff out of you, you know? And let the
Yeah.
people that like follow you actually see who you are for a little bit, like an hour. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been great, bro. We got to share everybody your story and like everybody go follow Jonathan for sure. And link in and listen to all the music and everything. But yeah, thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
And
Maybe
for
I'll come up
everybody-
to Kitchener sometime.
Yeah, yo, we're here, man. I just do my thing in this room all the time. We'd love to have you. Why not? But yeah, other than that, everybody else that's watching today, have a great afternoon and check out next week's put up once it's up too. Peace out.